Imagine you've been working on a project, and recently you've started to feel like it's gotten to be too much for you to handle. The amount of work left to complete seems overwhelming. You don't know if you're going to be able to get it done in time, and you're not sure you even know what you're doing anymore. Frustrated, you open up about this problem to a close friend, and they offer to help you, saying they'll do anything to make your load lighter and help you find peace in your situation. Naturally, you're overjoyed by this offer, and so you start thanking them over and over, so grateful that they do something like this to help you. But then, you go back to work all by yourself, still carrying every burden and responsibility on your own shoulders without giving any of it over to them. This response seems absurd. Why would we cause ourselves so much stress and anxiety over something that doesn't need to be done alone? And yet, this is how we often treat God when faced with problems in our own lives. We declare God's goodness, compassion, and faithfulness, and then when problems arise, we shoulder everything ourselves, only releasing our grip on the wheel when we've crashed and there's nowhere else to go. 1 John 1:3 says that we have been invited into a partnership with the Father and with his Son, Jesus Christ. His desire is for a partnership with us, not merely use as a last resort. We exhaust ourselves every time we try to lift alone what God has designed for us to carry together. He calls us to offer up our burdens to him, and when we do, he promises to renew our strength. Today, I want to share with you 3 steps we can take to release control of our own lives and enter deeper into a living partnership with our God. We are invited to recognize, repent, and receive. First, we need to recognize where and why we seek control. This grasp to maintain our supposed stability happens all too often in each of our lives. It happens whenever we try to make important decisions based on gut feelings or personal preferences instead of waiting to hear from God. It happens whenever we try to fix every situation we come across, even when it's not something we're even partially capable of. In my own life, it happens when I try to plan ahead for every worst-case scenario that might come my way, instead of trusting that God will place me where he knows I need to grow the most. We all engage in these destructive behaviors, but why? The truth is, in every situation that we seek to maintain control, we are wrestling with both unbelief and pride. Unbelief in that, though we know in our hearts that God is Lord over all, we aren't trusting him to be who he has promised to be for us on a personal level. And pride in that, as crazy as it sounds to say aloud, we think we can do better than he can. Now that we've recognized where we struggle with this, the second step is to repent for where we've tried to plow our own path instead of stepping into the one God has already paved for us to walk with him. In our modern church culture, we've made repent a messy, incriminating word that is actually designed to be something freeing. By repenting, we cast off what was weighing us down before and run into what God has called us to. The final step is to receive God's eager desire to join us. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Placing God at the level of first responder in our lives, instead of plan B or even plan T, will produce 3 vital results. 1, you will strengthen your relationship with the Father, growing closer to him through the circumstances you face. 2, you will be directed on a path far greater, straighter, and more beneficial than anything you would have thought of yourself. And 3, you will be filled with the kind of peace that Philippians 4:7 talks about. The kind of peace that surpasses all understanding and remains even in the most difficult of circumstances. So, how do we move out of control to allow God to lead us? We recognize, repent, and receive. Where we seek control, God longs for collaboration. If only we'd surrender. Thank you.